I don't know when I'm gonna die. I don't know. I hope it's a long time from now. But I do know is I wanna make sure I'm developing my gifts and talents every day and using them to serve people. And if I'm living in the past, pain or trauma, or I'm allowing some negative emotion to dictate my actions, to hold back my love for people or my mission, and to allow me to stay in fear and self-doubt versus taking action and going for it, I just know I'm gonna regret that.
Inevitably, life is going to dish some difficult and testing moments at you. For me, I found so much healing in therapy. I do it weekly. I still do it to this day. I find it very, very rewarding. And the reason being is because we don't have an opportunity to open up and discuss and really navigate these deep feelings of trauma, hardships, difficult times, things that we might not know exists. Today, I sit down with Lewis Howes, the author of The School of Greatness, podcast host of The School of Greatness, New York Times bestselling author, and we talk exactly that and how you can implement and get into therapy and use it to heal and eventually become great. That's the whole point of this, is to heal and then become great. Today's video was made possible at Mulliganbrothers.com, where you can get the Not a Journal Success Journal and the Momentum Ori posters to help you get ready for 2024. The posters remind you you're gonna die. The journal actually leads to success. It's linked down below. But before that, how can we use therapy as a way of healing and then eventually succeeding? Let's dive into it. Around a year and a half, 2 years ago, I started therapy. First time ever, really good. Like I've spoken before about I really do think people should dive into it. So I started weekly therapy sessions.
Wow, amazing, man.
Yeah, and when I got onto the call for the first time, wonderful therapist, and I still use to this day. And I said to her, look, I'll do this, but the one thing I don't want you to do is try and take this thing away from me that I've got. So I've got this
drive,
this pain that So for me, I've spoken about this before. I lost my son, and that's where all my power came from. Or so I felt. It was like invincibility, like no one can touch me because I've been through this, so I can achieve anything. And I said to her, I don't want to heal to lose that. I don't want to lose that power. And we had a long conversation. And
what did she say?
She said, I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. Right. That was the first thing she said. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. And so we went through that journey and dug up a ton of trauma around that. And I'd still say I hold on to some of the pain. Around my son, it's completely sort of let go, and it's been so fulfilling and rewarding. Yes. But I still definitely hold on to some pain, and there's still some soul searching there for sure that needs fixing.
Yeah, and I think it's a journey. I still have memories that cause a reaction or a feeling of frustration. I just don't hold on to them for as long as I used to, and I'm not driven by them. So it doesn't mean I'm still not sad of the things that happened or experiences.
Yeah.
I'm not happy that I was sexually abused. I'm not happy that my brother was in jail and I didn't have friends. I'm not happy that I struggled in school. It's not like I wished that others have that same experience also, but I've reframed the meaning of it to give me greater purpose. I've reframed the story to being an empowering story as opposed to disempowering. There's still sadness, there's still grief and loss that I can hold on to and reflect on, but I don't want it to define me and hold me back. And what I have realized is that wholeness inside of me, harmony inside of me, is the best version of myself. Feeling empty, feeling like I've lost a piece of me, feeling like I'm angry, feeling like I'm needing to prove some people that picked me last wrong for the rest of my life, doesn't serve me in creating harmony. And when I'm in harmony, my heart is open and I'm able to love people deeper. And when we love people deeper and we share our energy with the people around us or our purpose, and it's full of love, that energy is the most powerful energy to pursue your dreams and accomplish your purpose. The emptiness feeling inside of you, or part of you, the brokenness inside of you and being driven by that, whenever we accomplish something, it still will not fulfill us into harmony and wholeness. So we must create wholeness in the journey. And it's not an overnight thing. It takes time sometimes to process. It's taken me years and it's still an ongoing journey. So it's not like I'm whole and perfect and now everything's good to go. I'm always getting back to a place of harmony so that I can show up fully for my fiance, soon-to-be wife, so I can show up better for my team, so I can make clearer, more conscious decisions in my work, so that I'm not emotional eating and binge eating to try to like numb the feelings, but I'm processing feelings so that I can make wiser, conscious decisions for my future self. It's all those things together, because if you've got big dreams, great, go for them, awesome. But do our best to go after them out of love, not anger or lack.
Thank you for that. I love that. That's fantastic. For me, it is a process. I'm in that process. I would say this is a question I really wanted to ask you whilst looking, through your healing journey. Is I attacked. There's a word right there. I used therapy very much as a problem solve. Like that's how I work. Like there's a goal. I'm going to fix this. There's so it's very specific. Like this trauma is going to get fixed, and that's what we're working on right now. When I got to the end of that, and I started to feel like I got through that part of that journey, there are other parts that are also difficult. But therapy is draining. It's painful. It's draining.
It's not fun.
How did you go? Once you'd got through?
I have spent 8-hour sessions on Saturdays doing therapy with my therapist. 8 hours of nonstop therapy, and I'm just like, all I want to do is go hang out at the beach and relax. But I know on the other side is peace. And I can keep doing the same things I've been doing and get results, but I'm not getting fulfillment and peace and not feeling the love that I want to feel still. So why? Okay, well, I've got to dive in deeper then. I've got to keep doing some work. And again, I don't think you need to be every week spending 8 hours a day, doing therapy. I don't think that's what it's about. I think we want to live our lives, and we need space and time to reflect and process it. But I remember just struggling in relationships and in a previous relationship, really struggling, and we were doing couples therapy, and I was just like, I need to figure out the solution to this. I can't keep living this way. It's up and down, it's emotional, it's too much for me, I can't do this. So either we need to figure out a solution in the relationship or we need to heal and not be together. So I was willing to do whatever it took and have as much coaching and therapy as possible. But it can feel draining and exhausting. It's not fun. I still don't enjoy it every time I do it now, and things are good, but I keep going when it's good, so it doesn't get bad. I don't enjoy it every time, but I know that it's gonna benefit me.
Do you worry about unpacking something? So we had this analogy in therapy when we first started speaking, is you've got this suitcase and you open it up and there's a mess, and you've got all these different things, and what we're gonna do is remove these things and we're gonna start packing them back in, and that analogy really worked visually for me.
Yes.
Sometimes I worry now that I'm going to open that up and I'm going to unpack, a portion of it is going to be so messy and it's going to rock me again. Because those 2 years, I'm in a better place now, but those 2 years were difficult. And there's a fear for me of unpacking something and going, right, here we go again. Here's 3-4 months of trying to get through this again.
I don't think it's wise to unpack anything that traumatic on your own, personally. Because then if you don't have the support to get out of it, it could be a downward spiral for months or years. And I've been in that place in the past where I'm just like in my bed, ruminating, eating crap all day, binge watching TV for weeks, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Because you can get trapped in that cycle of trauma or stress or overwhelm or grief or pain or make wrong or blame, as opposed to, okay, this happened, how can I create a new story and a new meaning about this story? How can I start to mend and process, and what's the game plan to move forward? And I think a lot of people get stuck in their traumas, and they either are in it so deep that it depresses and consumes them, or they block it so much and they just say, I'm gonna work out harder, I'm gonna make more money, I'm gonna sleep with more people, whatever it is, to numb those emotions. So that's where addictions get into place. We wanna numb the pain as opposed to process and face the pain. And I had my own types of addictions. You know, I never was drunk or did drugs, but it was like I was driven to prove people wrong every day. And it was like I was driven to make people wrong, to prove them that I was better and that they will never hurt me again. That was like the anger, the fuel. And it was an addiction, and it felt good until it didn't. Until every time I was like, yeah, I'm right, I won. Then like later at night, I'm like, oh, but they still don't want to hang out with me. You know, it's like, what's the point of this? You know, being alone and feeling like empty still. So the fear of unpacking, I don't feel like I'm afraid to unpack anything because of all my memories that I have, I feel like I've addressed so many of them to the point where I feel like I can handle any conversation with my psyche. Like I can handle it. It may be extremely painful. I may feel sad and emotionally overwhelmed for a few days, but I've gotten out of it before with the right support and coaching and therapy, and I know I can get through it again. Doing it on your own, I don't think is the wise thing to do. Doing it with support, with the right timings, I think will only make you a stronger, better human.
Okay.
But you don't have to do everything all at once, though. You know, it's like you went through a very traumatic event, which you processed, and I think give yourself space and time. And then I'm always thinking, you know, how can I don't know when I'm gonna die. I don't know. I hope it's a long time from now. But I do know is I wanna make sure I'm developing my gifts and talents every day and using them to serve people. And if I'm living in the past, pain or trauma, or I'm allowing some negative emotion to dictate my actions, to hold back my love for people or my mission, and to allow me to stay in fear and self-doubt versus taking action and going for it, I just know I'm gonna regret that. And so I know that coaching, therapy, mentorship, guidance, whatever you wanna call it, is going to help me overcome the things that keep me held back. And that's what I'm looking to do. How can I get beyond myself, the limiting self every single day, into my authentic self?
For me, therapy has been this thing that's very, very difficult. It's a very hard thing to go through, honestly, but it's the most rewarding thing I've done. It turned my life upside down for a bit there, and it was difficult, but now on the other side of it, it's been extremely rewarding. You know, when you bury traumas and difficult times and hardships that you face, and you don't acknowledge them, and you don't try and learn and grow through them, they come out in weird and wonderful ways. It might make you that you're not very sociable. It might mean that you are obsessed with working too much, that it's unhealthy and you've not got the right balance. Sometimes they lead to great things, but in the end, I think having an awareness and being able to heal through it is what will lead to your most success. The true, authentic version of yourself will lead you to the most success in your life, whether that is just a balance of happiness and career and relationships. It doesn't matter, but it's super important, in my opinion, to make sure that you heal those wounds at some point. Thank you for watching. Only 10% of you guys are subscribed and notified, so please subscribe, hit the notification bell. We have so many more guests coming on before Christmas. And 2024 has been our biggest invested year. We've put everything that we possibly could into 2024. Time, attention, funds, whatever it is has gone into 2024. So please stick around. Have a blessed and productive day, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, guys, the journals and the posters, get ready for 2024, linked down below. They're available right now with the link in the description. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.